Alright guys, what is up? This is Max and Ben here from the Reality of Fantasy, and we are creating this YouTube channel to help you guys win your fantasy leagues and be sort of informed about all the fantasy information throughout the season. So in today's video, we will be talking about a couple middle tier running backs who could possibly finish in that top 10 back range. And we know, of course, how important it is to have running backs and to hit on the running backs that you take in the draft, especially this year when the position is so thin. So these guys, they're not super sleepers. I wouldn't even call them sleepers. We're just talking about three guys who aren't consensus stars who could sort of creep into that conversation by the end of the season. So the first guy we have on our list is Alex Collins. Ben, you want to just give me sort of your opinion and run through this year's outlook on Collins?
Yeah, so Alex Collins had a great year last year. He emerged um, in the murky Ravens backfield and became really great starter. Averaged 4.6 yards per carry, which was a top 7 last year. And that was with facing the league's 7th hardest run schedule from week 8 on. And now this year he's coming in facing the 12th easiest schedule for RBs, a massive improvement, and I think that he can definitely capitalize on that. Additionally, he didn't even start until week 10 last year. This year he has the whole season. Last year he fell just shy of 1,000 yards rushing, and that's super impressive for someone who only played 7 games. So that's why we like Alex Collins.
Yeah, I would
And
I would just add that I think he was crazy watching him last year. He always broke out of. He ran incredibly side to side. He always broke out of the pile explosively. He just looked like a great back on the field. His yards per carry average was top 10 in the league. I mean, this dude was just a beast.
yeah, and another thing is that the Ravens had the 7th most rushing attempts last year, so we know that the volume will be there,
Yeah,
which
and
is
the crazy
huge.
part was even in after he started starting, I still don't. He wasn't a 20 carry per game back. They were still only giving him 15 carries and mixing in Jarvorius Allen. Jarvorius Allen was also the go-to goal line back. I think this year finally they know Alex Collins their starter. We know he's their starter also because hey, they cut Danny Woodhead. They didn't add anybody else in free agency, and they didn't draft a back. So it seems like they're really happy with Collins going forward.
Yeah, and I also think that the Ravens' offense has improved, which will definitely benefit Collins. Before, their like Collins was really their only threat. They had no wide receivers. This year, they brought in John Brown, who I like, Michael Crabtree. So they brought in some nice weapons that I think will definitely open up the run game for Collins. And yeah, I
And
think he's gonna be a stud.
I'm not saying this is going to happen, but we do see now that the Ravens have Lamar Jackson, we have seen in previous years sort of that uptick in production from the veteran QB after they draft the rookie. For example, take Alex Smith last year. He was sort of a pedestrian his whole career. The Chiefs draft Pat Mahomes, who sat behind Smith last year, and Smith went off. He became a top 10 fantasy producer, and he was incredible. So I'm not saying I think Joe Flacco is a great QB, but one, I could definitely see in the realm of possibilities that he is an uptick in production this year. And two, let's say Flacco's doing badly and they decide to give Lamar Jackson a chance. I think that helps Khan's value even more because when you have that QB who is a threat to run the ball, that really keeps defenders at bay and that all of a sudden opens up new opportunities for Collins. So a lot of people are looking down on this offense, especially because of last year. But I really think that this Ravens offense could be good, and I think Collins could be that backbone.
Yeah, so moving on to the next guy, Royce Freeman. His current ADP is 46, which is like mid 4th round. I really like that. He has He has risen a lot since since the beginning of August and July, but I still think where he's going, it's definitely great value, and just his measurements, he's a 6 foot, 238 pound bruiser, and he really reminds me of Leonard Fournette on the Jaguars, who was very successful as a rookie last year. And I could definitely see Freeman putting up similar stats. Just the only difference is Fournette was going like second round in most drafts last year, and Freeman's going fourth round this year. So
And
they weigh both around 238 pounds. They had very similar 40-yard dash times at the combine. So he's fast, he has speed, he has size, and I just think that he can be breaking out for some nice runs in Denver.
yeah, and I really do think, I wouldn't say unlike Fournette, but I think Freeman's a little more of a threat and a weapon in the pass game. Like, Freeman has real three down potential, and especially because he really doesn't have that much competition in Denver. I know they have Devontae Booker, but we don't really think he's that good. Freeman's been out carrying him all preseason. Booker's only had a 3.6 yards per carry in preseason compared to Freeman's 5.6 yards per carry. Freeman also has three touchdowns. He's broken off for multiple 20-yard runs, so we know that the big playability is there. So I really see him sort of, as the season progresses, breaking out and becoming that three down back for Denver. They have, I guess, D'Angelo Henderson. This guy, Philip Lindsay, has been impressing in camp. He could, I guess, maybe emerge as that passing specialist, but I really think Freeman's ceiling is incredibly high because of his situation.
And I also think that his floor isn't that low because, again, just like Alex Collins, the Broncos ran the ball the eighth most times in the league last year.
With CJ Anderson.
Yeah, that was with awful backs. And now they got rid of CJ Anderson, brought in Royce Freeman, and I think that they're really going to use him. And volume is key in fantasy, so we know he has the skill, and the opportunity is going to be there for him. So definitely try to snag him up. And moving
All
on to
right.
our last guy, it's kind of
It's a mix. I would just say it's the
yeah.
Titans backfield as a whole. We are super high as on the Titans offense, but especially that Derrick Henry Dion Lewis pair, and we think both of them could have immense value. Both of them could end up being that Devonta Freeman, Tevin Coleman, but I think it could be even more of an even split. Both of them, one of them might not be stars, but I think both of them can give you a consistent 10 to 15 points per week.
Yeah, so the Titans have the fifth easiest schedule for running backs, and they have the third easiest schedule for rush efficiency, and fifth easiest schedule for explosive rushes. And Dion Lewis can run the ball, and he's a threat in the passing game. So I think he's going to be both. He's going to be that type of guy that maybe gets you a touchdown a game on top of a nice 50, anywhere from like 30 to 50 yards in the rushing game, and anywhere from like 2 receptions to 5 receptions for around 30 to 50 yards too. So he's just going to be a very solid guy on both ends. And Derrick Henry, um, he showed us some nice flashes last year with DeMarco Murray in the backfield, and now I think he's going to get more opportunity. And I think the Titans got rid of Murray because they were looking forward and they believe now that they can trust in Henry. And I think that he's definitely going to execute well. Additionally, when we've seen that with opportunity, Henry has been very good. In the numerous games last year that he had over 10 carries, he averaged 5.6 yards per carry, which is great. And now since DeMarco's retired, he's definitely going to be getting more opportunity, definitely more than 10 carries a game. So I really like that value.
So, and I think with Lewis, they actually give each other more value because Lewis provides sort of that change of pace back to keep defenders at bay, and so they almost sort of keep on offsetting each other, especially since they have different running styles. So the defense will never get used to defending one player, which I think is really cool. Now, Dion Lewis, on the other hand, has that has maybe more of a three down back potential just because he will be in the field for third rounds plus some rushing opportunities. So we really like Lewis there. When the Patriots featured him, he was incredible last year. We know he's a dynamic player. We've seen him with kick returns in the playoffs. And we really think that we're high on this Titans backfield, high on their offense, an offense that gets to play the Colts twice a year. So we're excited to see this
Yeah, and
offense.
again, just like with the Ravens and Alex Collins, I think that we're going to see an improvement as a team for the Titans this year. They just signed some nice new offensive linemen, and also Corey Davis is coming back this year. We also think is going to be good. That's another strong wide receiver weapon, and Mariota's continuing to improve. So an improvement in the Titans offense as a whole will definitely benefit both of those backs.
Right, and we forgot to mention that. I can't believe I forgot to mention the offensive line. Their offensive line is going to be one of the top lines in football this year. It's just ridiculous, and especially with Mariota's running ability. Especially with Mariota's running ability, he's really also sort of going to help the Titans have a three-pronged attack rushing wise, which will really benefit each players. So that will conclude this week's video. Today's video. We will be back at it again tomorrow. Be on the lookout. If you like this video, please subscribe. Give us that thumbs up and leave any questions or thoughts in the comments.
Thank you for watching.